This is Rika. He's 22 years old from Angola, living in Portugal. 6 months ago, Rika reached out because for the past 3 years, he had been working small jobs, making fuck all just to try and sustain himself. When he reached out, he wanted to try appointment setting. He didn't know if it was for him, and I didn't know if he was actually going to be able to commit. But he did. And 6 months later, here we are in Greece together at my client retreat. This is his story.
All right, boys, welcome to a new YouTube video. Today, I bring you my boy, Rika. We are at the first ever I Love Setting client retreat in beautiful Greece. The reason I'm doing this here because Rika is a fucking baller, but he's also a crazy appointment setter. And yeah, I wanted to bring you guys Rika to speak a little bit about his story and yeah, give you guys a little bit of context of how he went from jumping from job to job to now making a lot of money with appointment setting, traveling the world, and building a life that he truly loves. So Rika, welcome, bro.
Welcome.
Really good to have you.
Appreciate it, man.
Why are you looking so fresh, bro?
I always look fresh. You look better, bro. I'm telling you.
Rika always looks fresh, man. So, first question I have for you, bro, is can you give us a little bit of context? What were you doing before you found setting, before we started this whole thing?
Yeah, so I dropped out of uni, like after 3 months of uni, bro. I hated it. I didn't go to classes. And then I had to work, you know. My father was like, yeah, if you're not doing uni, at least you need to do something with your life. But I started working as a cashier. Is it cashier?
Yeah, cashier, yeah.
A cashier for like 3 months. I hated it, bro. And then I went to a restaurant, worked as a waiter, and bro, it was so bad. Like the days were like super long.
Yeah.
I worked like 12 hours a day. Always like standing, just talking like to non-likable people.
So yeah, you were working 12-hour days, you were in a dark place.
Bro, super dark place. And that's when we went to Milan.
Yes.
And I asked you about what were you doing? Because you were doing good.
Yeah.
You were pretty successful at the time already. I was like, okay, he's doing good, so he's doing something right. I can learn something from this guy. So I asked you, you and Tommy showed me what you were doing. I thought it was pretty easy, which is pretty easy to be honest. And I was like, okay, now I gotta lock in, bro, try like to do something with my life. Like that's when I just worked, I think, for 1 month and reached back out and just went all in.
Do you remember what you said to me in Milan?
What did I say?
You said, bro, I really want to start. How much is it? I told you the price. And then we never talked about it again. You just said, I'm gonna work for a month. In my head, I thought like, all right, let's see. I didn't really believe you were actually going to do it. Right? And then literally a month later, you just sent me the money. It just landed in my bank account. And I was like, Rika, what is this money for? And you reminded me, bro, I told you I was going to pay. We were going to do this, which I thought was like, bro, that's dedication. You know, you got it done.
100%.
You were congruent. You know,
Yeah.
you said something, you did it, and you made it happen. So that was really cool. And how much were you making with those jobs? Were you making good money at the time?
I was making minimum salary in France, which is like 1.5K a month, I think.
Yeah.
But, you know, then I did extra hours. Best month I did was probably 1.6K, but not that much, you know.
Yeah. What was the worst part about it? Was it the job itself, or was it the amount of money you were making, or the freedom that you didn't feel like you had?
Bro, it was like, I knew I didn't want that for myself. Like, I knew I could do way better in life, you know. And bro, each day I woke up, I felt like a piece of shit, you know. I was like, bro, what am I doing with my life? I'm just gonna go work 12 hours, you know, talk to non-likable people, and just come back home, hit a snooze and sleep. Like,
Upper decky.
Yeah, I swear, bro.
Do you consider yourself a hardworking person before you started setting?
No, not at all.
Because where did that shift come from? Because before you started, I feel like you were pretty chill, like fairly lazy, you know? And then
100%.
out of the blue, you
100%, yeah.
something flipped a switch in you where you like, I am gonna work harder than everyone else, bro.
Bro, it was when I started working as a waiter. Bro, I hated it so much. So I knew I had like to put in the work to make something of my life.
Yeah.
And I was like super afraid of not being successful, you know?
Yeah.
And I still am. But like, I just put in the work and the reps in and the hours. And bro, at the end, I knew it would work out. You know?
It was almost like the discomfort was too big to not do anything
100%.
about it.
Bro, I remember one night so vividly, which is the one thing that motivates me, like each day, like to put in the work. I couldn't sleep, and I sent you a message. You probably don't remember. At like 3 or 4 a.m., I was like, bro, can you like get me a role? I'll work for free. I don't care, bro. And you were like, no, bro. You know, I'm holding a business, which I understood. And bro, I was like, fuck. It was like such a dark place at that time. I couldn't sleep. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna lock in for 1 month, work my ass off, and pay him, like, give him all of my money, which I did. I gave you like, bro, I had like €0 left in the bank. But right now I'm in Greece living good, so yeah, I appreciate it.
Love it, bro, love it. And I know as well, for you, it wasn't super easy right at the beginning, right? Like you got placed on a role fairly quickly, but the first, 2 months were pretty tough. You made like
I made
zero basically?
Yeah, I made like, I think $125.
But
in the first
you
month.
were working your ass off, right?
I was working like 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah.
But I was like, each time I put a rep in, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work 10 to 12 hours in my couch, you know. I'm not like standing talking to non-likable people. I'm in my couch, I'm having a good life actually, you know.
Yeah.
Bro, I just kept putting in the work. And bro, at some point, it started working.
But I'll tell you one thing, the thing that you did the best that most people are never willing to do is you were willing to put in the work, even knowing that there was no guarantee of money or result at the end. But by doing that, you gave yourself the chance of learning the skill, getting really good at it. And when that really good opportunity came along after 2 or 3 months,
100%.
You were ready to take it. And that's when the money started coming in. Right?
100%, bro. 100%. Because I was just so locked in. I didn't care about money at that time, you know. I just wanted to master the skill because I knew the money would come once I got good at it, you know. So if I just kept putting in the work, the hours, learning from everyone, from the business owners, bro, at some point I'd get good at it. And bro, the good offer came at the right time and I started making bank, you know.
I love it, bro. And just to talk about numbers a little bit, how much money have you been making these past few months, let's say the last 6 months? Because that's the kind of like timeline that you've had on the
average?
offer. Yeah.
On average, I'd say 2K, 3K, but 3K from my couch, living the good life. You know, I can travel whenever I want.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want, just go to the gym and work. Bro, I give like everything for that.
100%.
You know?
What's your goal? Do you want to, get to 4 or 5K, start traveling, go to 10K and do something different?
100%.
Where are you trying to go?
I've been thinking about it actually.
Okay.
I think in the next 6 months, I want like to make at least 5K, 5 to 10K, and settle up in another country, like in South America, or I don't know, like a cheap country, you know, which I can and live like a king and just like lock in and like live the life I actually want, you know. I don't want like to stay at my hometown for my whole life.
Yeah. 100%. I know you told me in the offer that you're working on, there's really good culture, right? Like there's a really good team. How important has that been for you to get to where you are right now? Because I know a lot of people focus on the money, but
100%.
me as a setter, I'd personally rather make 1K with a sick team and a sick culture than make 3 or 4K working with people I hate, you know?
So important, bro. Because on the first offer I got, the business owner, he didn't talk to me like at all. He didn't give me any feedback, nothing. We didn't make any Teams call, you know. And I was putting in the work, but I felt like I was like alone in the thing. And now I have like a good team. Each day we call, you know, we have a call, we talk, we'll report, you know. And it's so important, like, because it pushes you to work for them. Like you want to work for them, you know. You don't want to just like put in the work for the money. You actually want to help them grow also, you know.
100%. And you also get to learn from someone running a business, someone closing deals, people who create content, all that stuff, right?
100%, bro. You learn so much. Like from each call, you know, when you talk to business owners, like every day, you see how they talk, how they actually work, how they move. Bro, you learn so much. You just gotta be like willing to listen, you know, and like be attentive. But yeah, it's so important, bro.
I love that, bro. I love it. If you could go back a few years when you're, back in high school, and I know you were enjoying at the time, drinking a lot, going out.
I did.
God knows.
I did.
What would you say to, 17, 18-year-old Rika to kind of reassure him that the future is gonna...
It's gonna be okay, bro. I think one thing I say is just lock in, because the timeline for me to lock in was so long that I feel like I wasted some years of my life doing nothing, like working these jobs. I know that I could do better if I just logged in. And I knew at that time that if I logged in, I'd do better, but I wasn't willing to. If I was willing to lock in, bro, I'd be in a search.
Better position quicker.
Better position quicker.
I love that.
But now I did it, and I'm glad for it, and I appreciate you for it.
Thanks, brother. Bro, honestly, it's so cool to see this progression, because I think even on a personal level, you've grown so much, not just as a setter, which now you're obviously a killer, everyone here knows it, but even on a personal level, I feel like you went from this kid trying to figure it out to now a man who knows what his path is and is willing to put in the work even when things get hard. And it's really impressive to see, honestly, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
So,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I hope this gives, some inspiration to the people watching on the other side. And
Sure, bro.
I'm really proud of you, bro.
Appreciate it, brother.
That's a wrap!
It's a wrap, boys.